Hey, how the hell is it going? Art Rich here. Welcome back to the studio. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to take this boring line art and turn it into a dynamic digital painted piece. So, with that said, know that I struggled a lot. Obviously, it's not even close to being the same pose. A lot changed. So I'm going to show you the entire process and how not to mess up like I did. So, if you like manga, anime, comic books, and all that kind of art, subscribe to my channel, ring that bell for notifications, like this video, and you know what? I want you to comment. What's your favorite anime? Who's your favorite anime character? Maybe I'll draw them in the next video. Till then, let's jump right into this video. There's a lot to show. So I opened up this pencil drawing in Photoshop and I was like, I'm going to turn this into the best painting ever. And that involved me changing almost everything. Matter of fact, I did change everything. So you can see here, I already changed the arm. All I did was add in the background, and I said, "Oh no, this must go." So it went. I really embraced my more painterly side here. Um, I'm going into the colors almost immediately. This is not my normal process at all. I would normally do many line drawings and then determine the final line drawing before I even touched colors. So this was a lot of fun. This was a great experiment, and I think it proved to be uh, successful in the end. Yeah, I would say it's one of my best pieces, one of my better pieces at least. Um, if not in overall quality, then definitely in the amount of learning that happened here. Absolutely. Um, I'm really trying to figure out how to get my line work in digital platforms like Photoshop better. Um, I don't like how they look all that much. There's a disconnect between me and the tablet. So, and that's one of the reasons why I'm struggling so hard right here. I can't figure out the right proportions, the right anatomy, and the best pose. For whatever reason, there's a disconnect between me and the tablet. And I am going to fix that soon by going back to the drawing table, literally, with a pencil and paper, and drawing the pose out and then taking it back in there. But you'll see. And here I am trying to figure out, well, different angles would be better. And as you can see, I was right. Uh, this angle was better. Um, I don't know if it was the best. I probably could have made her bigger and brought her closer to the camera, I think. Probably would have helped with impact. But you know what? It wasn't a terrible piece. So I'm very happy with it. Here I am messing around with these lines more and more. Yeah, the entire upper body I feel like came out okay. But once I reached those hips, they don't lie. I struggled hard. Um, oh, so I'm using this brush here. I got it from Steven On or Steve On, whatever he wants to go by. He is a Pixar artist. He used to work at Nickelodeon. He worked on Avatar: The Last Airbender quite a bit. And he's got a Kickstarter, so go check him out, back him up. But he gave away this free brush basically when I spent $1 at his store or something like that. I don't know. I got it years ago, and I remember it was a pretty good price. But it's just the one brush, and it has actually made my drawing in Photoshop. See, here I am working on it on pencil and paper, because I struggled that much with this tablet Photoshop drawing. Um, Here I am busting out the same lame pose that I was just doing, and I really had to loosen my hand up, is what it was. I can't loosen up in Photoshop. You can see there, that's the beginning of, yes, there you go. Finish it, Richard. There we go. Yes. That's the pose I want. So I'm just going to take a picture of that with my phone and sync it with my Google Photos and then bring it into Photoshop. Here we go. So I did like what I already had with upper body, and I am just going to sync the upper body to the lower body. I am trying to remove some of the noise. Yep, this is genius at work, people. Genius at work. Yeah, I really like this pose. This was much better. Um, one of my favorite artists is Frank Rosetta, and he is a master at dynamic anatomy. Really uh, knowing which parts of the body to emphasize in a pose and whatnot. As far as anatomy, what can be exaggerated, what can't, successfully and still be, believable. Um, and I give him a lot of credit for everything that I know. I just study the crap out of Frank Rosetta work. So, um, but dude, my influences are so spread out. I was trying to channel like my inner Loish, or, or insert some other DreamWorks artist here. They all seem to work directly in Photoshop and just paint it all up. Um, just starting with colors, and that's what I was trying to do. Um, and I actually think it was successful. It just takes quite a while for me to do that. I wasn't used to that. So, and once I added the perspective there, going back into the building, I think that really that really gave this piece some more depth. Really happy with that. And here I go, coloring the suit. I think Ghost in the Shell has some amazing designs. I'm not going to talk about the movie because I didn't watch it. The one with Scarlett Johansson, did not watch it. Heard nothing but terrible reviews, and I watched about 5 minutes of it, and was thoroughly disappointed. Ooh, there's me. I'm watching Fran. Fran, if you don't know her on YouTube, she's very interesting, very good artist, and she's fun to follow. She has some pretty entertaining vlogs. She has some good B-roll, and I like listening to her in the background while I work. Sorry if I sound a little funny. I just woke up, and I am also trying to give a more soothing voice to this channel. Um, so Motoko has some of these straps that wrap around her thighs, and just want to add that I feel like that's a good adding straps that are tight to the body can really add good contour, and it's a good way to kind of tell the audience what direction body parts are going in and give objects volume and form. So strongly recommend. Strongly recommend. So yeah, super happy with how this piece came out. Um, but it still has a long way to go. This piece took me probably over 5 hours to do. Um, and I have this video sped up 20 times, and it's about 20 minutes long. It was probably took me close to 5 hours, if not over 5 hours. Um, one of the longer pieces that I worked on. You know what? Anybody can do a piece like this. You just have to have some stick to itiveness. You gotta really be driven to finish the piece. If you guys are liking this, please subscribe, like, comment, ring that bell for notifications. Every little bit helps with this YouTube channel. Yeah, every like lets me know that I'm making content that you guys like, and I should keep on creating that. So, if you look at my channel, I've experimented a little bit with penciling, just straight up drawing, to inking videos to videos of me making my own comic, which, by the way, I will be plugging more shortly. Um, but yeah, let's get back to this piece. Motoko, the body definition, I was really happy with how this turned out. Yeah. Um, this was probably the best part of the piece, in my opinion. Um, kind of struggle with it at some points. Not yet. I'll point it out when I get to it, though. Um, but yeah, Motoko is one of my favorite anime characters, hands down. And it's hard to identify why, because Ghost in the Shell is not a very character driven show. I mean, if we're looking at Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, um, the two seasons that came out in like the early 2000s, uh, or maybe like even 19 early as 1998. I don't remember exactly the year, but it is almost notoriously a non-character driven show. We don't know very much about the characters, and that was kind of part of being immersed in this world. It was like, oh, these people uh, really are these top secret, very elite team that you don't know much about because it's all classified, in this sort of way. And when they're all supposed to be these information specialists and um, really they're supposed to be isolated. So, oh, here I am. I think I'm using the color dodge tool right now. Well, I'm not even using the tool. What I did was I took the brush and I set the brush settings to color dodge. There I am with the color dodge. So I used the brush and I got a pinkish color and I set the setting to color dodge on the same layer as as the rest of my colors, and that's how I got that effect. And I don't know what I'm doing there. All right, going back to it. I recorded this piece over several sessions, probably 5 or 6 sessions, all of them taking at least an hour each. So it's kind of hard to get momentum and keep the momentum. And I would argue that there wasn't a whole lot of momentum actually going on with this piece. It was just a lot of pushing. I could see that there was promise in this piece and that I could take it further. So that was really my driving force. Knowing that I had something good and that I just had to keep at it. There really wasn't a whole lot of momentum. There wasn't at any point I was like, "Ooh, this is going really good. I'm going to keep going." Just because I couldn't, life kept on getting in the way. I had kids, and I had to sleep at some point. So there's stuff that just got in the way of that momentum, and you know what? That's life. That's life. You just got to deal with it. Um, I messed around with these lips a lot. I was not really satisfied a whole lot. Yeah. So I was basically creating a another layer that was filled with that color. I changed the opacity, took it down, and I wasn't happy still. So I erased segments of it. And I think that really helped create some atmosphere and really unify her within the piece. So she's still popping out in some parts, but she's, you know, there's unifying colors. Just exactly what you want to do with a piece. So in some ways, this kind of felt like my first digital painting in a long time. And I know I've done other paintings in Photoshop. You probably see them on my YouTube channel if you're a subscriber. If not, please go check those out. But this one, I was working almost entirely in Photoshop. Now, I started off with a basic pose, but I really just threw out the entire thing. And this entire background, this entire scenario, this is really an original illustration. And I'm not used to doing those. I used to do them a lot more when I was younger. But since I joined the military, uh, time has just gotten away from me. And I've kept up with sketching and some character designs, but doing illustrations like this, I really miss doing this. And I'm really glad I did this. I really flexed some muscles that I haven't in a long, long time. For a long time, I was just limiting myself to pencil and ink mediums, traditional stuff. But after a while, I really felt like I was just limiting myself unnecessarily, and that I should be pushing myself to learn colors and painting. Um, but you know what? I think it was see. Oh, I'm doing the color dodge here on the glass. I really love that effect. I kind of learned how to do that from Ross Straws. Check out his channel. You probably have. He's super popular here on YouTube. Um, but anyway, by doing those things, I limited myself from learning color. And I kind of knew it already, and that's why I felt comfortable enough going back to pencils and inks because I actually needed to work on my fundamentals, my foundation, which was a lot of anatomy, perspective, proportions. I thought I knew that stuff, so I jumped into Photoshop, and it turns out I was so not ready to pick up all these other skills. So um, you can work on all of them at the same time. You can work on the coloring and drawing and stuff, and you can try to build them all up together. I don't know if that's really the right thing to do. So I stepped back and I was like, well, I'm just going to work on these foundational skills, work on the drawing, and then I'll move on to the painting. And I think that's paid off for me. So in this piece, I really wanted to emphasize her curves, her sexiness. They do when it goes to the shell, and it's not something that I usually do. It's not something that I'm known for. I don't do a whole lot of fan service, but I wanted to make an exception in this case and just try to make her as appealing as possible. So right now, one of the best ways to get textures in Photoshop is to take a picture with the texture that you want and desaturate it, make it black and white, and then overlay it or multiply over just the area that you want to do. Now, because it was a big picture of a building, I cropped out the rest, and then I used the clone stamp tool, and that basically, it's hard to describe. You're going to have to watch a tutorial on it, or maybe I'll make one, but it basically repeats a texture over and over. You have to set it at a certain spot and then start painting another spot. So I'm almost done with this thing. Uh, Done with the glass, done with the texture of the building. I think I just need to add the Section 9 logo in there. Finish up this one guy in the background that was chasing her. I was originally planning on adding a lot more guys back there, but she's blocking most of it anyway, so there's no point. Um, and I think I'm just going to emphasize the neon light coming from below as well. And I'm almost done with this thing. So if you guys enjoyed this, please like the video, comment, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. Let me know what your favorite anime and anime character is. Might do in the next video. Thank you.